The AR-15 is extremely popular, and of course there are many reasons for that. And being proven with the U.S. military for a number of years is the M4, the M16, and then on the civilian market. This is a Wyndham Weaponry MPC. It's an excellent rifle, it's accurate, and to be honest with you, it's lightweight and I really love it. But there are times where you really want a step above, something that can really take care of business, something that has a lot of features that your standard AR-15 just doesn't have. And that's one of the things about a rifle like this MILTAC Alpha Series rifle. It's an AR-15, it's in 5.56, it has all the accessories, it's already fully Cerakoted, and there's a lot of other things that really make this rifle a premium AR-15. There are a lot of AR-15 rifles out there. After last year and the big scare, there was a lot of production ramped up, and you're seeing some very inexpensive AR-15s hitting the market. But if you're really looking for a very high quality rifle, there are certain things that you need to look at. I am going to be doing a video coming up pretty soon about what to look for in an AR-15. And there are two things you need to think about. Is it for just plinking, going to the range, or is it really for accuracy, for really tight tolerances? And so we're going to look at the MILTAC Industries Alpha Series AR-15. And this is an exceptional rifle. This is something that's a cut above, just a very well-made, hand-finished piece. You know, most of your basic AR-15 rifles are going to just be made as inexpensively as possible. They may be good quality rifles, but they're going to cut as many corners so they can compete in the market. And so that is one of the things you need to look at when buying just a standard rifle. With this MILTAC, one of the things that you're buying is the quality and the workmanship and craftsmanship that go into assembling this rifle. Now, of course, the first thing you notice is the complete Cerakote. It's in the flat dark earth. They also do it in the black, and they do a two-tone. And so it really has a very uniform finish to it. One of the big areas they start with, though, is their upper and lower receivers. Now, these are billet, and that's one of the things that MILTAC really does well, is making the lower and upper receiver on a CNC machine, and then having that quality to where they fit these just perfectly together. Everything is matched. One of the things particularly about billet is they can configure it outside of the norm of what most of your forged lowers are going to be. In fact, I have some pictures I want to show you of some of the work and the processes that they do right there in Boise, Idaho at their MILTAC factory and their manufacturing facility. Of course, all the parts are fitted into the rifle, and these are guys that really know what they're doing. You know, I build AR-15 rifles on occasion, and I really love the freedom and just doing that project. It's a lot of fun. But I'm not an expert, and knowing exactly how things go and the right tolerances, you know, a lot of times it's just putting it together. Now, the AR-15 is made to do that, but that's one of the things about buying a really nice rifle is everything is fitted and it's properly taken care of. Everything's properly staked, the pins are properly fitted, your spring weights and your buffer tubes, your buffer, your spring, everything is going to be fitted to its maximum efficiency. And so, you know, yes, when you're buying a rifle like this, you are paying more money than you are for a basic AR, but there's a lot that comes with it. Now, the Billet Lower does come with a flared mag well, and you know, if you've shot a lot of AR-15s, especially rapid fire, you know that you need that to really do quick mag changes. It really helps to allow that mag just to go straight in. Also, you have a built-in trigger guard, which is part of the Billet Lower assembly. So it's built in, it's integral with the rifle. And of course, the billet upper, just looking at it, you can tell that it's beefed up in certain areas. It's reinforced right back there near the buffer tube. So that's really going to keep this rifle solid. And you know, it's just some points that just makes it a little more heavy duty in the field. Of course, putting Magpul furniture on the AR, the colors match really nice, but this is an ACS Light stock by Magpul. Has the friction lock, has a quick release attachment here for your sling swivel. It has a small compartment on the other side for different things. And so this is just an excellent stock. And of course Magpul does really great at that. Also the MIAD grip, and it's a really ergonomic grip. Has a small compartment at the bottom if you want to carry batteries, and then a Mo foregrip with a small Picatinny rail. Now this is fitted to one of the 13-inch Troy Industries modular battle float free float rails. It's a really nice rail system. You don't have all the Picatinny that's sticking out. You do have a monolithic rail that runs along the top, so it's really sight ready. Now it has T-marks on the handguard that are still visible, but not on the upper receiver. And this is matched very well to the upper receiver. And that's part of what you get when you buy a rifle like this, is everything is put together, your head spaces are correct, and it's installed as is. Also your Troy Industries folding battle sight on the front and your folding sight on the rear. And these are made of aluminum. They're very well made sight systems, great for backup. Of course this is optics ready for you to put whatever optic you need on this rifle. It has one of the Smith Vortex flash hiders, and it's on a standard H-bar barrel. So you've got a 16-inch 1-in-7 twist H-bar barrel that's going to really help with accuracy, and it's going to keep the barrel cooler longer. And really, what's really exceptional about this rifle is that, as you see it here, it weighs 6 pounds 12 ounces, and that is phenomenal. I'm telling you, with the weight of rifles, with the AR-15, especially if you start adding a lot of things to it, they can really get heavy. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the Troy free float handguard. It's very thin, it's very lightweight, and plus the Magpul accessories are also lightweight. Now the barrel is chrome lined, and if you want extreme accuracy, you can get a stainless steel barrel. But one of the problems with stainless steel is that if you're going to have a high round count, they tend to wear a little bit quicker. Now some will argue, that the chrome lined barrel, after a period of time, some things will degrade in accuracy because of some of the plating of the chrome may come off. But you're really shooting a lot. Plus they're very easy to clean, much easier than a standard stainless steel barrel without the chrome lining, and that's one of the problems with it. So, and then two, no corrosion is going to build up in the barrel. So really I like the Molychrome barrels, and this is just with the H-bar configuration, it really helps to keep that barrel cool, and just an exceptional barrel. Inside the handrail there is a low mount gas block system, and of course this is a DI rifle, which personally I like DI rifles. Of course the Cerakote finish that was applied to this rifle is exceptional, and all the parts that you see have been Cerakoted, even the buffer tube. So it's a really nice finish of this Cerakote, and I love the color.
So we were just playing with this MILTAC Industries AR-15 here, or whatever their designation is for it. A lot of people think that the stubby foregrip is designed to be used like a broom handle, and you can use it like this. But what ends up happening if you're transitioning from target to target, you have a tendency to overswing and overpull the gun past your target because of the grip design in your hands down here. You're not up here to be able to stabilize the rifle. So what most guys do is they'll point an index finger down the side, and then here just a few fingers gripping the top of this to help stabilize the rifle so you can transition it a little quicker. But overall it's a nice rifle. Very well designed, good color scheme. They did a really good job with the Cerakote finish on it. So, a nice rifle.
Yeah, that's a nice billet upper, billet lower.
Yep, we've got an oversized flared mag well here to help reload the rifle a little quicker, a little bit easier. Just a really well designed rifle. You can see here the little tick mark on your shell deflector here, where the rounds are hitting right in the center on it, right where they should be. Nothing low or high or anything hitting way up here on the top. So you're hitting right on the forward shelf.
Of course, you have the MILTAC logo right on the Troy Industries rail, and also on the Fail Zero boron coated bolt, which I really love boron coated bolts. And one of the big things about the nickel boron bolt is it's so slick in the action. But what's even more important is for maintenance and cleaning. None of the fouling will stay on these. I've got one in one of my rifles, and I shoot the hound out of that rifle and before ever needing to clean it, because it's somewhat self-lubricating. But even on a standard mil-spec bolt carrier group, You know, there are a lot of areas that have been chrome plated inside, and this nickel boron is so much more slick and smooth. You can feel it in your hand. You can tell that this thing just slides in and out of that receiver, and that's going to cause less wear on your rifle. The bolt carry is made of 8620 steel, and the bolt itself is 9310. Of course, the staking is done very well to mil-spec standards, mil-spec gas rings, and of course this has been HTP and MPT tested. So any imperfections are going to show up with those type testings, and these aren't batch tested, every one is tested. Of course, the logo of MILTAC is also nicely engraved on both sides of the rifle. Here the forward assist around that housing is just excellently, it's thick, it's beefed up, and it's just really exceptional. Here it's designated multi-caliber, and the model is the M556-1. MILTAC Industries LLC, Boise, Idaho, USA. And of course, tight tolerances equals accuracy. Having everything mated together, and yet it doesn't affect the functionality. Sometimes, especially the early M16s, they were so tight, and of course it was so new. A lot of the bugs hadn't been worked out. But with these type rifles, it has a perfect mate with reliability, and yet it gives you great accuracy. You can see everything in here is lined up, mated to a T. You know, I build a lot of rifles, and it's one of the things that you're mating just a forged lower, basic forged lower with a forged upper, and they're mil-spec, and you know, they're pretty close. Being able to buy a really high quality hand-fitted rifle is going to really give you superior performance in the field. Now the trigger is a mil-spec trigger. It's been nicely fitted into the rifle, but it does have a fairly standard trigger pull. The parts snap together though very well. I mean, everything, the tolerances, you can pull them out immediately with your hand. And that's one thing that a lot of times I'll get a hold, especially with a new rifle, and it's somewhat difficult to pull out. It's just the right tension. Even the interior of the lower has been Cerakoted. So all your parts, except for the trigger, have been Cerakoted. The buffer tube, Cerakoted. Your charging handle, and the interior of the upper. The Cerakote finish has been done very well, and one of the ways you can tell is right here on the brass deflector, which I've shot about 300 rounds through this rifle. And the brass deflector has a little bit of just grime on it, but it held up well with the shells coming back. And I have not cleaned this rifle whatsoever. The MILTAC logo is really nice and very well framed. Now, as far as accuracy goes, I didn't attach an optic to this rifle. I was shooting it straight stock with the sights as is. But I'm going to include a link right here to a video from MILTAC Industries on their YouTube channel, and it shows the possibility of the accuracy that you can achieve with this specific rifle. And I'll tell you what, it is phenomenal. The Alpha Series comes with the MILTAC branded Crossfire rifle bag, and this is a really exceptional high quality bag, MOLLE webbing, has MILTAC stitched right into the bag, also a US flag. Of course, has a shoulder sling, and the rifle fits with Velcro pulls all the way through. Also with the MS3 Magpul sling. This is a really exceptional bag and a great setup. And one of the things about the MILTAC Industries is that these rifles have a lifetime guarantee on them. The retail price on the MILTAC Alpha Series rifle is $28.99. That's $2,899. Now that may seem excessive to many when you're buying some AR-15s for 800 bucks. But let's consider the Noveske, similar, in fact, all the way down the line, about $3,138 bucks. The Wilson, their top of the line rifle is $3,160, and the JP Enterprises comparable rifle is $3,777. So the Alpha Series comes in well below many other premium rifles that are very comparable. Now I'm going to have the link to a comparison chart that shows all the different features of those four type rifles, and you can look in the description below. You know, guys, I know a lot of you are going, that is ridiculous, I'm never going to pay that kind of money for a rifle. And you know what, there's a lot of guys that can't, but there are a lot of guys that do and will, because I have a lot of them that watch this channel. And so while this rifle just looks great, it's what's on the inside and the craftsmanship that really make this rifle what it is. And I want to say thank you to the guys at MILTAC. they sent the rifle for me to do the review on, to shoot, and just to test it out. I think you're going to find that MILTAC Industries is a force to be reckoned with. Your standard AR-15, excellent choice. Going a step above with this MILTAC Alpha Series rifle, this is excellent. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. The Troy Industries 13-inch modular free float, and then the Troy Industries free float, and the Troy Industries and that's Robbie from Wheaton Arms. So visit WheatonArms.com.